All right, so for the end of the semester, what we are going to be working with is RazorPages. This is a .NET framework. Normally, this is covered in the fall in the 255 class, but I have moved it into this class because there have been issues with .NET MAUI. The main issue is that there is problems for some of the Mac users using Visual Studio. So they are using the computers on campus, and .NET MAUI cannot run on the campus computers because it is being blocked by the network security. So you can't really code up an app if you can't run it and test it. That is the problem. So instead of .NET MAUI, we are going to be working with RazorPages, which I think you guys are going to love. They are, it's a framework where there's quite a bit of code generated for you, and it is used to create full stack web applications. They are in a little simpler form than the MVC applications that we're going to be covering in the 218 class. But this will be kind of a nice introduction to that technology. And then when we get into the 218 class, you're going to take a much deeper dive into how those full stack apps work. And the RazorPages implements kind of a form of the model view model framework. So model view, view model. And I do explain kind of how it works in the videos as we're going through the tutorials. So from now until the end of the semester, here is a summary of all the projects you are going to be working on. There is a very, very short reading assignment just on model view, view model. So you kind of understand that architecture. And then we're going to get into creating a RazorPages movie app. And so if you click on this, here is the tutorial. And if you are a Mac user, you will be using .NET 7. You can actually use anything from .NET 6 up, okay? And if you click on this, you'll notice that you can select .NET 7, any of the versions. And so there are several different sections in this tutorial, and I have created videos for every single one. And so you can see we've got add a model, scaffolding. Every single section has a video. And so I walk through, what they're talking about. But I also am connecting this knowledge to what we have learned in this class and other CIT courses that you have taken. So to kind of refresh your memory, because this is going to be pulling in some things from the 180 class. It's going to be pulling in some stuff from the 178 class. And we're also going to be using information that we've learned in this class. So the videos kind of help explain everything. Plus, I also explain how these projects are kind of wired, how everything fits together. So each one of these sections has a video. And I also created an extra section that I am requiring you to do. So watch this video in particular, because it shows you how to style, how to do just a little bit of styling, and how to add pictures to your projects. It also shows you how to adjust the navigation bar. Okay, so that actually is a kind of an important video to watch. So this is the first project. And once you complete it, what you are going to do is you're going to do a little video. You're going to run it and do a little video showing me that it works. So you're going to have to, create a movie, edit a movie, delete a movie, just to show me all those pages work. And then you're going to add your submission to this Dropbox. So what you're going to have to upload to the Dropbox is the video and a link to your GitHub repository, because you can add to GitHub, add these projects to GitHub the same way that you added your council apps. Now, if you have a problem getting it on GitHub, you certainly, for these projects, it is okay to zip them and add the zipped project as well. As long as you have the video, I can see that everything is working. The only reason I need to look at the project is in case something is not working, then I have to see your project files. So let's go back in here. Hold on a second. All right, let's get back out of here and scroll down. So that is the first tutorial. Then you're going to go through another one. The Contasso University app, which is actually that's Contasso app in various versions has been used for almost every framework in Microsoft. So we will also walk through this, and I still need to make videos on that, but those will be coming. And then you're going to do the same thing in the Dropbox. You are going to submit video showing a demonstration of the site. So you're going to be, adding, changing, deleting data. And then you are going to give me a GitHub link for the application. And if you're having issues with GitHub, just zip it and then upload your zipped folder. Now, once you finish that, and those two things are due in a week. Okay, so those are due on the 22nd. After you finish that, you're going to work on a RazorPages project. And the project basically has similar requirements to the two apps that you have created. So I've listed the requirements here, and I have a video that kind of walks through the requirements so you can see what I'm looking for. And the app that I demo in the video, you can actually download and take a look at. So I've got a link to that as well. Okay, so that is the project. And then once you are done with the project, you are going to do the project showcase. Now, the project and the showcase are due on the 29th. Okay. And what you need to do for the showcase is simply submit a video of you demonstrating the site. Okay. And so you can see I have an example of that professional development app. And that's all you need is the video demonstrating the landing page, your privacy page, and the CRUD functions. Okay. And then within the next week, you need to review the applications that your peers created and reply to at least 3, indicating what you liked best about the app and any suggestions you have for improvements or, whatever. Like for me, it would be professional development version 2. Okay. It's 2.0 if I was going to go back and make changes. Okay, so that is the showcase and the peer review. And then we have the final exam. This is a cumulative test. It will be open on the 22nd all the way through the 4th. You can take this an unlimited number of times. There are 40 questions, total number of points is 75. And obviously then, because you can take it an unlimited number of times, it's going to be scored immediately, but you aren't going to see the correct answers until after the test closes. Okay, so you should take this over and over and again, and it will store your highest score. Now, I did add a little section on deployment. So let me pause here. I don't think it's visible. All right. So for those of you interested in deploying the app, I am not requiring that this semester, mainly because you can't just FTP this to any old server. In order for this to work, the server has to have Kestrel installed, or it needs to be a Microsoft server. And if it doesn't have Kestrel, or if it's not a Microsoft server, your app is not going to run. And so the server that we deploy to is myasp.net. And they do allow you to have a free account for 2 months. And so in the 218 and 255 classes, you are required to deploy. So we save that 2 months free for those classes. If you deploy now, then your 2 months will obviously be expired by fall, and you would actually have to purchase server space. So it doesn't cost a lot. Like, you can get your own domain and you can get space on the server for $106. And that's for the whole year. So, I mean, relatively inexpensive, but that is why I'm not requiring that you deploy now. And as far as the deployment instructions go, it says .NET 6, but it's basically .NET 6 or anything higher. Okay, so, and this talks about an MVC application, but deploying RazorPages works the exact same. And I will update these directions, before you are done with your project. So I will have these, they'll be very similar to this, but they'll just be updated. So that's the skinny on deployment. And other than that, the additional resources down here, if you wanted to know more about Razor syntax or tag helpers, or maybe you wanted to hear somebody else explain RazorPages, I've got quite a few resources for you. A lot of students want to know how to upload files in the RazorPage framework. This tells you how. So these are just some useful resources that students have liked in the past. So this is what we are doing until the end of the semester. The peer review is due on the last day of the semester, and your final exam has to be submitted by the last day of the semester. If you run into any problems or if you have questions, let me know. I am very familiar with all of these frameworks, and I should be able to meet with you in Zoom and get everything all straightened out. So I hope you have fun with this. I hope you enjoy using it and have a great couple of weeks.